name's Aaron Myers, and I'm a language coach dedicated to helping others learn another language. You can find out more about me, about my coaching, or about my work here in Turkey at my website, the Turkish Listening Library. But this video series is not about learning Turkish. It's about helping others be more efficient, more effective, and have more fun learning another language. To do this, I offer you language learning tips. Today's tip: journal and record. One of the problems that we see in language learning is that our language learning, at least when we do our work through classes or textbooks, tends to move in a very linear manner from point A to point Z. We learn a grammar, we learn the next grammar, we learn the next grammar. When we're learning those, we're learning sets of vocabulary around certain topics, but we're always moving on from what we've just learned. Some of those things naturally get reviewed. We're always going to be coming across the present tense. But one of the real problems is that we often find ourselves wishing that somehow we could remember back to all those things we learned when we first started learning the language, or that we feel like we're moving too fast because we're not having enough time to really review. And so one of the things as a self-directed language learner that you need to take control of is creating ways to create built-in review, recycling, revisiting of all of the things that you've learned. And I think one of the best ways to do this is by journaling and recording. Now, journaling is something you should be doing in the target language, journaling about your everyday things. When you journal, you want to use and try to really focus on using the grammars, the words, the expressions that you're currently learning, as well as really writing out of your everyday experience. It's a big theme of mine. As much as you can, keep your learning around what's important to you, your everyday experience. So journaling is going to allow you to really revisit the things that you've just learned another time. So if you've went to class and you learned a particular grammar about a particular topic, now you're going to come home and you're going to journal about what you did that day, but using those things. So it's going to give you touch points and another way to enter into and for your brain to interact with the language. The other thing that journaling does is it allows you to produce the language in a very low stress environment. And I'd encourage you when you're journaling, don't fret and worry about getting everything just right. Let it come out. Just really let go and journal and have fun with it. But it's going to give you that low stress production. And if you think about when you write in your own language, you're really having a conversation in your head as you write. So when you're journaling, it's allowing you to really produce the same way that you would when you're speaking, but you're doing it at your own pace. You're doing it in a low stress environment, which is going to help your brain be able to really hold on to those things better. Now, the next thing that you need to do, and I think this is really a great idea and a hugely important idea, is that you need to sit down with a native speaker and go through your journals, correcting them, working through word choices, all those things with a native speaker until you've got it really correct. Now, it's not going to be authentic in that language at all. It's going to be very simple. It's going to be but it is going to be true to the grammar and the words and everything in the language. Going through it again like that is going to give you another chance to revisit, review, recycle the things you've just been learning. And then this is the key. What you need to do next is you need to sit down with a native speaker and record them reading your journal out loud. Now you've got a way to collect everything you've learned, put it on an iPod, on your cell phone, on your computer, and your journal is only going to be probably 30 seconds of audio, maybe a minute. But if you do this regularly, 3-4 times a week, real quickly, and we've talked about this in other posts, you're going to have a real buildup of the amount of material, audio material that you have. It's all going to be along that linear path that you've been learning the language. It's going to give you a chance to always be cycling back, reviewing, reflecting, and retouching the things that you've previously learned. It's a very easy way to put this into your language learning program. You're on the bus, you're going somewhere, you're doing the dishes, you're going for a jog. Now you can take time that would normally just be just time about your day and create a really intense, magnified program of review over what you've learned. All those little things in the language, the endings on words, the pronunciation, the expressions that you're wanting to learn and you just can't seem to memorize, are now just going to be playing over in your mind. And I think what you'll find is that suddenly you'll begin to feel much more of a sense of this is just how it sounds, right? As opposed to this is what I've learned and I know that this ending goes on this, or this is how you conjugate this verb. It'll just feel right. And so I'd encourage you to work towards this. Journal every day. Journal as much as you can about your daily life using the things that you're currently learning in your journals. Correct them with a native speaker, record them, and now you've got, a growing corpus of audio review that you can listen to again and again and again during the downtime in your day when you're not able to be studying and when you want to just take a moment to reflect and review. So I'd encourage you to get started on this right away. I think it's super important and a really good idea. And it may mean that you need to really be intentional about finding a native speaker that you can sit down with a couple times a week. This doesn't need to take long. This could be a 10-minute project if you're prepared to sit down and get it done. So that's my tip for this week. Blessings to you on your language learning journey, and we'll see you next week. Take care.